Let's turn now to Anna Schecter. She's a producer with our CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. Anna, thank you for making time for us today. What do we know so far about the shooter right now?
Well, we know the shooter attended this school in the past, that the shooter's mother had worked there for several years, actually, that the shooter actually knew exactly what that church looked like, that the shooter had made very specific drawings of the very place that the shooter wound up firing those shots into when those bullets went right through the stained glass windows to strike children. So there is a connection there, but police tell us that they don't have any specific trigger that alerts them to a very specific motive of why the shooter attacked that particular school. Now, of course, that's interesting because this news from police comes against the backdrop of the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, posting on X yesterday afternoon that he's ordering his agents to investigate this as a possible act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime against Catholics. Now, our teams have been reviewing the writings of the shooter, videos posted online, which include weapons with hateful comments written onto them. They are targeting blacks, Jews, Hispanics. So there's a wide array of grievances that investigators have been looking at. And they tell me that's why they've been hesitant to put out a specific motive, Mugo.
Yeah, and Anna, I just want to expand on that because, as you mentioned there, the shooter talks about various groups, not just one. And if Kash Patel is calling this an act of domestic terrorism, specifically against Catholics, it does seem like there's still the bigger question of why this happened in the first place, because, again, the shooter talked about various groups of people.
That's exactly right. We're also piecing together a little bit more about this individual's background. The shooter had a job until mid-August, so recently quit a job. And then we're looking into those 3 residences where search warrants were executed yesterday and more weapons were confiscated from yesterday. Unclear exactly why there were those 3 residences, so we're drilling down on that. Investigators are still going through electronic devices. In fact, there are some outstanding devices that have not yet been searched that will likely need to be searched at some point. Now, this case is a little bit different because the shooter took their own life at the scene. Yeah. We are not seeing a case being prepared right now. So prosecutors are not building a case. But what investigators are continuing to work towards, they want to make 100% sure that nobody aided or even knew about these plans, because we've talked about this earlier today. Minnesota does have a red flag law, and the family could have petitioned a judge to confiscate those weapons for a period of time. We've been drilling down on that, looking at that. There was a law that went into place in January of last year, so it was relatively new, but still it was on the books and had been used more than 100 times in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, still a lot of questions surrounding this case, the motive, the shooter, why they did this. And obviously, I know our team is working on getting that for us. Anna Schecter, thank you so much for your time today.